With captions. Okay.
We're good to go.
Okay, I make a motion to call the meeting to order.
I second.
Okay, roll call please.
Trustee Marshall, trustee Coe,
Aye.
trustee Lampier.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, is there any board member with a conflict of interest or anything to disclose regarding the agenda items this evening?
I do not.
I do not.
I will disclose from the, well, it's just a public hearing, right? So I don't need to disclose that. But the Camilla's wine bar.
I will,
Okay,
Just for
I'll
the record.
disclose. Okay,
and you're disclosing what?
I'm disclosing.
For the record.
For the record, that I had welcomed him into the village and had some conversations with him prior to when he came for a special permit.
Okay, and I will disclose that I had a meeting with the applicant for Carmela's Wine Bar. It was a brief meeting to talk about the process of how you move an application forward. Other than that, I have nothing to disclose. Okay. With that being said, would the clerk please give us the guidelines for the open meeting compliance certification?
Good question. No, the public can speak during public comment. Please give your name and address, whether you're on Zoom or in the room, unless you're protected by an issue with law. If you're on Zoom, please raise your hand if you wish to speak directly to the board. If you wish for me to ask the question to the board, please put it in the Q&A. I don't pay attention to the chat function. And outside of that, I ask we have a nice, courteous, and respectful meeting.
Okay,
If I may.
Yeah.
Am I not mistaken as well that the public comment would be germane to the agenda item?
public comment is open.
Okay.
It is open.
So the public hearing could be, okay, that's
The
fine.
public hearing is.
Comment,
Comment,
Yeah.
correct.
only comment.
The hearing is
Yeah.
closed.
With that being said, would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we begin, I make a motion that we have a brief attorney-client session and call for an adjournment, a recess, excuse me, not an adjournment.
Second.
We have a second, roll call.
Trustee Lampier.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
We'll be right back. Talk amongst you.
We're good to go.
I make a motion, we reopen the meeting.
I second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Lampier.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Oh,
Motion passes.
okay, we're back. First thing up, because we have sort of a big meeting tonight, we're going to reduce the time limit on public comments this evening, just a couple of minutes instead of 3. So does anybody wish to speak during public comment? Yes, name and address, please.
81 South Street. As I'm sure members of the board are aware, there's a YouTube video being circulated on social media of a quote First Amendment auditor harassing village staff. I want to express my sincere gratitude to the staff and officers who helped defuse the situation. I'm grateful no one was physically harmed, but recognize the psychological distress this may have caused. This incident calls into question the safety and security of Village Hall. I hope the board takes this matter seriously and reviews safety protocols and infrastructure to ensure the safety of our village staff and public. And finally, I want to say thank you to village staff who show up every day to serve this community. Your dedication and hard work doesn't go unnoticed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak? During public comment? Yes, please, come on up. Name and address, please.
My name is Edward Coventer. I live at 105 South Main Street. It's my understanding that the Pittsburgh community is putting a petition in to put some ribbons up on the flagpoles in support of Trans Week. And I would just like to voice my support that that be approved.
Thank you very much for your input. Is there anyone else, please? Yes. Come on up, please.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth Chacho, and I live with my husband at 31 Fountain Avenue. Being transgendered is not just a medical transition. It's discovering who you are, living your life authentically, loving yourself, and spreading that love towards other people and accepting one another no matter the difference. How many years has it taken people to realize that we are all brothers and sisters and human beings in the human race? All human beings deserve equal treatment, no matter their gender, identity, or sexuality. I'm here tonight to support Pittsford Community United in putting up the ribbons on March 31st, which is International Transgender Day. Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
comment. Yeah. Is there anyone else wishing to speak? Is there anyone online? Cynthia, just a quick check. Oh, was there another hand? I'm sorry, did I miss it? Oh, yes, I just didn't quite catch you back. Name and address, please.
Ralph Carter, 202 Stoutenburg Lane. I wish to speak in favor of the upcoming agenda item regarding the transgender ribbon project. My partner, Van, 44 years, moved to Pittsburgh 8 years ago. And we're very excited to be a part of Pittsburgh. I really think that the Ribbon Project really gives a very clear welcome that is embraced by a lot of young people in our community, and also I'll say grandparents and great grandparents of the Highlands. I was kind of surprised really the kind of embrace of new neighbors at the Highlands, and then learning their stories as grandparents and great grandparents, which was also my case as a child. That it was my grandparents that really wanted to know what's going on in my life and are you happy, and how I'm finding a relationship and making commitments and so forth. And so there are two reasons to support this. One is the welcome becomes clear, and that Pittsburgh is looking forward and finding ways to welcome people to our community. The second is to acknowledge that the older generation embraces this because of getting to know their grandchildren and great grandchildren. Thank you.
Thank you, that was helpful, thank you, yes. Come on up, name and address, please.
Jeannie Gainsberg, I live at 4 Pilgrim Circle. It's Rochester 14618, but over by Naz, so Pittsburgh. I also want to support the transgender support ribbons for Transgender Day of Visibility. I am involved in LGBTQ+ inclusion work. I used to be the education director at the Out Alliance, which is Rochester's LGBTQ+ agency, and I trained all of our speakers there, and so I got to hear a lot of coming out stories. And what really struck me by so many of these coming out stories, whether folks were lesbian or gay or transgender, was that visibility, seeing, a sticker of support or a ribbon of support or a flag flying like from the library, and what that meant to people. I mean, I've had people literally say that seeing that kept them alive in moments of their life, because just knowing that there were people that supported them. And I feel right now that trans people are really under attack in many ways in our country. And I know that Pittsburgh can do better than that. So
Thank you for your input, sure. Anyone else? Sylvia? Okay, anybody online with a comment?
I have no
Oh,
comments.
wait, there's a hand up back there, I think, yes. Yes, oh, yes, hi Kevin, come on up, name and address. It's public comment.
Great. My name is Kevin Beckford, and I wanted to just talk a little bit today about why this is so important. I have both friends and family members from the trans community, and I've learned so much from them about compassion and the importance of being able to be seen, to be valued, and to be recognized. One of the things that is difficult right now in our country is that we're going through a lot of change, as we all see. And some of the areas of our country, some of the people in our country that have been marginalized over time are feeling uniquely nervous about being seen and valued.
2 minutes to see.
2 minutes, okay, thank you, I appreciate that. So I just want you to know that may seem small in terms of the request, but it's huge in the eyes of the folks that it means something to. As being part of one of those groups that are marginalized in the United States, I struggle too with sort of feeling, being seen, valued, and recognized. And there's a particular challenge for trans community today because, in fact, we don't have to look that far. In the Canandaigua, what we saw happened. That's really powerful, right? And so the more we can really make sure that people in our community, regardless of who you are, where you're from, whether you understand it or not, we have a duty to be able to be compassionate to those that are in need. Thanks.
Thank you very much for your input, Kevin. Yeah. Oh, Kevin, something. Yeah. Anyone else with a comment? Anyone else? No?
I do not have any comments online.
Okay. Thanks, everybody, for those comments. They were all heartfelt, I could tell. Next up, we have a recognition, a proclamation. Is anybody here from the McBride family? Or them? Yeah? Hi,
Come up.
come up. There you are. Oh, man, I didn't see you there. Oh,
Maggie, slide that chair right up. Slide it right up with us. Yes.
yeah,
Come on up. Yeah, there you go. Mrs. McBride, welcome.
Oh, showing you here too. Oh, my goodness. Right. Okay, everybody's here.
Part of our family.
Well, many of you know that we lost a wonderful member of our community recently, Bill McBride. He was a wonderful neighbor to many of us and also served on the Historic Preservation Board and admirably for many years. And I would like to read this proclamation honoring the memory of William McBride. Whereas William McBride passed away on the 27th day of February, 2025, and whereas William McBride was a strong contributing member of the Village of Pittsford community for many years and a proud retired Navy lieutenant and Vietnam War veteran, who rose to the command of the USS Cormorant. And whereas William McBride was above all else a loving husband and a father to a family that he raised here in the Village of Pittsford with his wife, Shawn McBride. And whereas William McBride made extensive contributions to the historic integrity of the architectural viewshed of the Village of Pittsford for a period of 16 years. First as a member and then of the chair of the Historic Preservation Board. And whereas William McBride was a leading force on the Historic Preservation Board in the review, development, and eventual approval of the multifamily apartment complex to be located at 75 Monroe Avenue, Pittsford, New York, working tirelessly for the reduction of the mass and the scale of that development so that it will exist more compatibly with the architectural rhythm, massing, and scale of the Village of Pittsford. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and the trustees of Pittsford recognize the steadfast service and dedication of William McBride to the historic architectural preservation of the Village of Pittsford, and hereby declare that the memory of William McBride is worthy of our highest respect and esteem. I ask the trustees that are here to sign this. Verklempt. We'll be forwarding this to you. Okay. We'll wait till Justin comes back. Okay, next up. We have an historic proclamation, or historic Pittsburgh proclamation, excuse me. Is there anyone here this evening from the Board of Historic Pittsburgh? Yes, please come up.
Yeah.
Hi. Jillian. I'll say this is a special one to me too, because my mom and dad helped to fund the start of Historic Pittsburgh. Yep. A proclamation honoring historic Pittsburgh upon the occasion of its 60th anniversary. Whereas in 1965, a group of town and village of Pittsburgh residents collectively recognized the value of all aspects of Pittsburgh's historic resources, including its people, its architecture, its agricultural heritage, as well as its local businesses and community organizations. And whereas this grassroots movement of friends and neighbors formed a nonprofit volunteer organization chartered under the New York State Department of Education known as Historic Pittsburgh. And whereas for the past 6 decades, Historic Pittsburgh has provided educational outreach, technical preservation and support, and financial aid within the community and beyond. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and the trustees of the Village of Pittsburgh hereby express gratitude and pay tribute to all members of Historic Pittsburgh, past and present, for their service to our community and historic preservation of our village, and for ensuring our history and legacy of historic preservation will continue for decades to come. And be it further resolved that the mayor of the village and trustees and the residents of our village recognize that Historic Pittsburgh is worthy of our highest respect and esteem. Thank you. That's the fun stuff, you know, and also the sad stuff, but we want to remember Bill McBride. So up next, we have, okay, Lisa, if you want to sign, we have a non-municipal permit application for Pittsburgh Community. Yes. Welcome. Hi, come on up.
I'm Annalise, representing Pittsburgh Community, a local nonprofit.
Last name, please, for
Oh,
the
Annalise
record.
Johnson Smith,
And address, please?
49 Falcon Trail. So we have a proposal for you for Transgender Day of Visibility, which is March 31st. We have letters of support from Wave Women Inc., which is a.
Can you all hear?
Not really.
Okay, can you really pipe up, please?
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm a soft-spoken person, so.
Yeah, he's addressing the board, but it's a little loud, yeah.
So we have a permit application in for Transgender Day of Visibility, and we have submitted to the board 3 letters of support from LGBTQ-led organizations, Rochester LGBTQ Together, Wave Women Inc., which is a trans woman-led organization, and Next Generation Men of Transition, which is a trans masculine-led organization. So we have wide community support from the LGBTQ community. It's an extremely hard time right now for the transgender community specifically. The murder of Sam Nordquist and ongoing validation nationally is really impacting people, and it impacts my family personally. And so we really think that having that visible sign of support on Transgender Day of Visibility, showing people you are loved, you are seen, you are valid, you are welcome here in Pittsburgh, would just be immeasurably helpful and a good thing for the community. So I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Is there any comment or questions from the board?
So I do have a comment. So that's a ribbon.
Yeah.
Okay. So I totally understand the acknowledgement and support, and that's a beautiful thing. I would love to see it matched with some education. You know, you're coming from an area where you personally have somebody that you know that's transgender, but there are many people that don't. And I think there's a lot of room for education so people can understand exactly what that means. And I think you'll get a lot more support and acknowledgement if you give us, community, us, some education as to what does it mean to be transgender, and you know, what exactly is that? And I just think that that would be a great addition to maybe collaborate at the end of the week to do some kind of presentation or some kind of like education. I just think that would be an amazing thing. So just a
I
suggestion.
agree.
Thank you.
Always an opportunity to learn, right? Yeah, yep, Dave, did you have a comment?
I just have some comments that I prepared, and this is, it's a challenging topic when you don't know your own biases to communicate. And also when you don't know your own biases when you communicate, and you also hear from residents and different views. And so I just put something down that I wanted to read and superimpose. We are a community which appreciates diversity. We individually and sometimes together work toward a better understanding of the challenges that face transgender people. I appreciate Pittsburgh community's effort in this regard. I have both family and friends who are part of this community, and I still am learning every day about their experiences and struggles, find comfort in their voice, not just within small groups of allies or those of like identity, but within the larger society. Transgender Day of Visibility helps bring awareness to the disproportionate levels of poverty, discrimination, violence the community faces in comparison to cisgender people, and misrepresentation, mischaracterization, and stereotypes that present false depictions that shape our broader cultural understanding. However, I also recognize and appreciate that there are many in our community who are still working toward a better understanding, are concerned about local government's role to support social agendas that are broadly speaking not universally accepted, or simply prefer residents rather than government to exercise the freedom of expression. That is to say, express support on private property versus in the public realm. Please know, I support our gender youth and our broader transgender community. I believe Pittsburgh Village supports our transgender youth and broader community. I am concerned when governments support a larger cultural movement that moves faster than, or maybe in contrary to some of its constituents, or the majority of its constituents. Regrettably, at this time, I am unable to support the request, but I'm hopeful for a day when doing so is more broadly accepted and not as controversial. I am also hopeful that there are other avenues for Pittsburgh community to solicit awareness and support educational outreach to support the transgender community's sense of belonging and comfort within our community.
Okay, thank you.
Lily, did you have anything?
Lily, anything to add?
I do not, mine are more practical considerations. We have in the past, any request we have received for placing ribbons on our lamppost for cancer, any other cause, we have approved those.
Mhm.
Given the precedent we have set, I feel most comfortable with continuing that that procedure. The one thing as to my practical concern, and that is when the ribbons will go up and when the ribbons will come down, if they come down in a timely manner and not be left, be draggled. That's all. That's my only concern.
We proposed a 1 week period, putting them up on March 28th and taking them down April 4th.
Okay.
So we're prepared to have a group of volunteers do that together. So busy up for 1 week,
And what's the actual day of recognition?
March 31st.
March 31st is the actual day of
So we'll be
recognition.
up for that period.
Okay, okay. Okay.
So Mayor, I'd like to make another comment.
Mhm.
As the voice of our residents here in the Village of Pittsford, I've had some people reach out to me to discuss this issue, that they were not supportive or not comfortable with the ribbons being up for 1 week. Being that it's a 1 day kind of awareness celebration. And they were just concerned that the week long, having the ribbons up for a week long was a little bit of an overkill, should we say.
Mhm.
So why did you decide on a week, and would you consider a longer period of time or a shorter period of time to do that?
Sure, it was easiest for us to have volunteers do it on the weekends, right? Put it down, a lot of us work Monday through Friday,
Mhm.
9 to 5 type jobs. So it'd be easiest for us to just put it up on the weekend and take it down on the weekend, yes.
So the 31st falls on what day? Do we know?
Monday.
Monday.
So you prefer it to go up a little bit later?
I'm just saying that this is some concerns that I had from residents, that it's a week long thing when it should be just like a day celebration. Just a comment. Just a minute.
I'd like to weigh in. And, I'm gonna start with two friends of mine that are trans that, became friends because they helped me in my garden. And it was my first year in office, and we made the decision to hang the, gay pride flag. And which was donated to the board, and we have hung it ever since. So one of the gardeners grew up in a different town and had a really tough time. And said when they came into Pittsburgh and they saw that banner hanging, they pulled over and cried. It meant that much to be seen and to be valued. And that was just the banner. I can't even imagine what it must be like for the trans community right now to be dealing with everything going on nationally, statewide, and locally. I just cannot imagine saying no to this. This is a moment for our community to stand with everybody and include everybody and respect and value everybody. This isn't a social agenda. This is about a person who has identified who they are as a human being.
I also have just a clarifying comment. So the liability insurance, just help me, Dorothea. So is this asking the village to take out an insurance
No,
policy?
no.
This is
Their-
your liability insurance.
their-
Yeah, here-
Okay, got it, okay. Thank you for that.
It's like, the requirement is the village has to be.
Yes,
over
and I knew that, but I
100.
just wasn't sure if this was an additional. Okay. I
No,
didn't-
that protects
Okay.
us.
I would like to add one more thing too, just about agendas and sort of affiliations and, if you're trans or gay, you have identified yourself in a certain way, you don't belong to a club or an organization. You just belong to your own self, and that's how you see yourself. Just as when we put up the ribbons for cancer, to be supportive of the efforts to cure cancer, no one asked for that either. No one wanted to join that club either. And I think there is a tremendous distinction to be made with that. And I would hope that the board would recognize that and vote for this. And I mean, if you want fewer days, I mean, whatever, but I think we need to do something. I do. I just feel strongly about it. Just if we want to say, yes, we are welcoming and inclusive. Yeah,
Okay.
really.
Do I understand, because I'm looking at the date that's coming up very quickly, that it is necessary for the board to waive the 45-day requirement?
Yeah.
I will make a motion that we waive the 45-day requirement for non-municipal use permit for the purpose of ribbons for the, is it the community group that is sponsoring? Okay, for the community
Pittsburgh community,
group application.
we have a motion.
I second.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, trustee Coe,
Aye.
trustee Marshall,
This is the waiver of 45 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, 45 days.
Yes.
trustee Lanfair,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer,
Hi,
motion passed.
okay. Next,
So could we, again, I just, again, I feel responsible to be the voice of people that have contacted me. Would you consider doing it maybe a week long, like a weekend? Can we do it like ribbons go up on a Saturday and then they come down Monday night? Would you guys consider that?
just
as-
shortening the
Just
time
short,
frame.
just
Is
shortening,
that what
because,
you-
yeah, I'm just trying to make.
I just want to
again,
make sure
Make
that,
everybody's happy. I want to be respectful to people that have commented to me.
Sure. Like looking at Friday and Tuesday, so that would be the 28th.
that's better.
It would go up at like 5:30.
So Friday night.
So
Would you guys consider that?
Okay, so it's going up on Friday evening.
On Friday evening, and that would be up for the weekend, which is when people
And
walk
then
the
they- I
village.
guess
and
they can gather on
visualize,
Tuesday.
yeah,
and take them down.
and then take them down Tuesday.
So that'll
Would that,
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
take it up
Okay.
Tuesday afternoon.
Tuesday afternoon.
that would be great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you for accommodating.
Yeah, thank
This is
you.
what it's about.
Again,
This way, everybody kind of gets a piece of yeah, is there anything online?
No, but we received 2 additional emails and I just wanted to.
Oh, yeah, okay, thank you. The clerk has also received correspondence from residents.
So if the board would like me to read them.
Yes,
or I
please.
can
Yes,
forward
please.
them.
Mhm.
Okay. Gabriel Diaz, 81 South Street. Unfortunately, due to early scheduled time of this meeting, I'm unable to attend. Instead, I send this letter as a token of my strongest support for the permit to hang ribbons for the transgender visibility here in the village. I can also say with great confidence that the majority of my immediate neighbors would similarly support the proposal.
Thank you.
Peg Rubley, I firmly support putting up ribbons for our transgender friends. Let's be welcoming, inclusive village. Also, no ribbons will not influence children. What they will learn from this is love and respect for all.
Okay, thank
And
you.
just to let you know that those letters have been read to the board and they are just as powerful from Gabe and Peg as if they were standing here in front of us.
Just a note, any letters received earlier in the day was already forwarded to the board for
Yeah.
their review, so they've received.
We see everything that's coming in, and if it comes in late, it's read. Yep. Is there a motion?
I will make the motion that we approve a non-municipal use permit application for Pittsford Community Ribbon installation on the dates specified, not, I can't keep my head
The 30th?
exactly right now,
28th.
March 28th.
Oh, the 28th for the what?
March 28th through April 1st. April Fool's Day.
Is
Thank you. Do I have a second?
there a second, please?
I will second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Marshall,
Can we discuss? Can we have another?
We can bring it
discussion?
back to the
Can we
board.
bring
Is
it back
is
just
there
really
additional discussion then?
Yeah,
We're bringing it back to the board.
Yes, so again, I just want to say thank you guys for being collaborative with us and to decrease your ribbon time out in the public. So I really appreciate that. And that movement really says a lot, that you're really doing this because you're working with us. And that's the way I want you to see me, is working with the community, trying to not be all things to all people, but trying to satisfy everybody's desire here in our village. So I thank you for that. And that really made a big difference as to why I'm interested in supporting it.
Okay, any other comment? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I guess from the heart of it, there are children who don't know where they belong. And as much as I've talked to residents outside who might have had concern, and even I sometimes dealing with social agendas where governments get involved and try to pull people forward to progress. These are just kids sometimes, and they don't have a home, they don't feel it.
Mm.
And if for 3 days, we can help them feel it.
Yeah,
I'm okay.
yes.
So we have a second?
Yeah, we have a second. Let's call the vote, please.
okay, trustee Marshall,
Aye.
trustee Coe,
Aye.
trustee Lanfair,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer,
Aye,
motion passed.
this is a proud moment. Okay. I'll help you hang your ribbons. All right.
Or take them down.
Or take them down, yes. Okay.
Either one.
Putting on schedule. Okay, fine. Okay, so let's see, next up, the Friends of the Arboretum signage. Oh, sorry, I skipped one. I take that back. The special permit application for 21 State Street. Is anyone here for the application, or
They
Dorothea,
might
do you have-
be- They might be.
might be online? Thank
Bye,
you so much,
everyone. Thank
everybody. Thank you.
If you're here online,
All
please
good
raise your
comments.
hand.
Oh, this, the new spa.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, at least our buildings are filled. We're gonna be the healthiest community.
I
ever.
know.
I'm
So what
not
building is that? Is
seeing,
this a little blue?
I am not sure.
Charlie.
I think it is, yeah.
not seeing the applicant,
Steve, did you hear anything? No? Okay.
Do we have the application? Do you have the,
I have the application, unfortunately, the copy I have in front of me is redacted.
oh, it's,
Got a hard copy.
yeah.
This is simply a request to go to public hearing.
Yeah,
Maybe they didn't know they needed to be here.
I think there might have been confusion with
Yeah.
everything going on and.
yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, if the board's comfortable,
So we have another foot spa and facial skincare business.
Yep.
Been on the second floor.
I'm trying to think. Yeah,
Good question. It's at 21 State Street, doesn't say the floor.
I don't know if they have the whole building.
Okay.
There have been similar uses. in that
Yeah.
building.
Second
I
floor,
know that there have been, so you're right.
is it the second floor, Lily, do you know? Second floor?
Across from the library.
Yeah. the
Yeah.
second floor.
Oh, that I don't know. But it's the whole
Yeah.
building or just
What, I mean,
feet on the
okay.
bottom, face on the top? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
can we move to the next item and Steve's gonna reach out?
Steve's gonna try to- Okay, let's move along. Okay, so next up, Friends of the Arboretum signage proposal. Hi, Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on up. Grab a chair.
Fine print to do,
Yeah.
and we can move it right along.
I walked the Arboretum today, actually. Looked a lot different last time I walked it.
Jim Wick, 11 East Jefferson Circle. It's for New York.
Yeah.
On behalf of the Friends of the Arboretum, first, we thank you for inviting us to come back and to include some of the information that you've requested to be enhanced from our last meeting. And at the last meeting, you had the proposals from the meeting of a year ago when the signs were approved. And in your packet, you'll find for tonight's meeting, we had the update that you requested that had a nice clean bill of goods, $4,900 for the 3 signs, 2 two-sided and 1 one-sided, and you have an updated graphic then on that. There are 2 or 3 items that you need to make your decision on, and we can assist you with that. In the one drawing, you knew that there was a difference between the signs being specified at 24 inches above grade to the bottom of the sign and up, and the other is 36 inches from the bottom on up. And to get that, the point of that decision, I have prepared, and let me just ask you to pass those amongst yourself. Did a quick graphic for some of the signs in and around the Pittsford various parks. And with that,
Is that from George?
Yeah, thank you.
I have them.
Oh, yeah.
what you'll find on this drawing that I just gave you, and I'll show you really quick. Here's the the current King's Bend sign that we see driving down the road. And of course, I point out the fact that you're in a car and driving by. The next one is right out here across the street going into the port of Pittsburgh. And that one includes, and I've thrown it in for reference, here's your typical historic marker with its thing and the height that it has for that. On the canal where you walk up to it, Great Embankment Park is a low sign for viewing. And the last one is also the drive-by on Marsh Road.
That's
for
helpful. Thank you.
The Great Embankment Park. So when you,
Good homework.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's great.
when you do
So
look
they see it.
through, I placed the 2 signs at the 2 ends, and you can see kind of how they look.
Mhm.
Now, here's a couple other little thoughts. As I was walking, what I noticed, a lot of the signs that are this height
Mhm.
all have graffiti. If it's right along the trail, like right there within reach, it probably does. On the lower ones, don't seem to pick it up. So as you look at the maps that you have that I brought in tonight, we're showing the 3 locations.
Mhm.
In each case, they're actually a little ways into the woods or far enough away that people wouldn't be walking by them. But still, our recommendation is to go with the 24 inches. It makes it a little more subtle. So you're not looking at the sign, you're looking at the woods, because you're there for the woods. On 2 of the 3 approaches, the signs would actually be slightly up a hill as you're approaching. So the 36 is just gonna put it up that much
Yeah.
higher.
Jim, I'd also like to say that kids are gonna be using that. So to be like at the height of a child is also. gonna be
Right,
important.
right. And with it being up that little bit higher on those hills, in those 2 cases, You know, we might even put a bit of a low ground planner just to keep people away, you know, it's just the stuff you do. And then, so our recommendation is to go with the 24 inches. And then the last decision that you would have to make is on the sign company put in a proposal for you. That they could come in once a year for the first 3 years, $500 annually. They would wash signs, wax it. The signs come with an 8-year warranty. You might question, could the DPW take care of that and just do it annually, and you'll get more, probably 20 years out of those signs anyways.
Can you cover that again, please? Just wash and wax?
They're gonna come in each spring, just wash each of the signs down, and then they put, I don't know if it's a paste wax, but some kind of
And how much
wax.
is that again?
$500 each
Every
year.
year?
So you're asking if we wanted to have that done or if we want to take it on ourselves?
That's, right, that's just a choice that you have.
And Jim, on the sign language invoices on the packet.
Yes.
It's showing the 19.58 by 36 by 2. Is that not the 24-inch one? I think that's this one, not this one.
No, that's another dimension.
Okay,
That 20 inches is the sign itself.
okay,
The 36 is how wide it is. And then from that earlier one, you have to
so then this does match up with what you're
do
recommending.
that, correct?
Okay, thank you.
All right? That's what we got.
I would say we move forward with the invoice and see if Zach might be willing to accept making sure they stay pretty clean and figure out what a wax overcoat looks like.
Yeah, as long as there's a recommended product that we can use and we get some sort of tutorial on the application of it, then I'm sure we can figure it out.
All right.
Great.
Has there been anything done with our gateway signs?
Meaning-
And just in terms of like washing them or anything? I mean, they
Coating
look-
them?
you know, they hang in for quite a while, but I mean, we can circle back and,
Yeah,
okay, so it may not be as intensive as every single year, potentially.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking, you
Yeah.
know,
It's
just
gonna
in
be
terms
the
of what
same-
they would do.
Yeah.
The same material build as what the entrance signs are. All right, which is the foam,
Yes, I believe it.
that's
It's the
molded,
foam, right?
yeah, which that stuff seems to last a long time without much maintenance.
Probably has a half-life.
Yeah. Lily, you might be able to add to this, but I believe the board had hired sign language at one point to come through and repaint some of the signs.
Lily, Lily, do you recall that if sign language ever came through and repainted any of our signs?
Nothing I
Well,
recall. I don't-
Okay,
And that wax treatment may help with UV. I'm just guessing that's the longevity.
I think we could sort it out on our end though, in
Yeah.
terms of what it would take, rather than popping $500.
Might have had a touch up of the gold leaf paint.
That's what I thought.
That's the only thing I remember, and that was a number of years ago.
Okay, but you know,
Yeah.
at some point in time, a little bit of maintenance.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So I
I
think
don't
we
know
can
about the
handle
Canuba
that.
wax. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. I
I
don't
don't
know.
think I've ever seen wax. one.
I've never, you know, maybe a Simonized, I don't know. Yeah, Steve?
I was curious, looking at those other 8 signs.
No.
I mean, if you're looking at the square, it looks like.
Yeah, no, those trails, the trail signs with no spruce trail, it's just 4x4.
Oh,
That's
okay.
for the arrow, okay, I just wanted to place them so you saw where they were in relation to everything else, it's just the tree.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, thank you.
So I make a motion to approve the invoice as presented.
I second.
Whoops, hang on. Why don't we talk to the treasurer?
Yeah,
Hmm.
Okay. I was asked to see, we had received some donations in support of signage for the Arboretum back in 21. There was $400 received and that's in a deferred revenue. Where are you taking the money for? Because there is not enough funds in the Arboretum line.
So we only have a $400 donation right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we have ARPA funds at all?
Those are
Too
gone.
late.
It's
Gone,
gone.
okay.
So if it's no money in this year's budget, is it something we could factor in next year? Like, because we're coming up to,
Correct. In next year's budget, you have a budget line of 3,500.
Oh. Well, then,
You
What
know,
about parks?
parks,
Parks
you
and
know,
So what if we were to,
well, it's only a couple of months.
yeah, is there anything in the
When do we do
general?
it?
We could pull it out of general,
we're,
or the, fund
we're in
balance?
March.
Can we,
going into
can we
May.
move it out of fund balance for last year?
You would be just a general fund, use of fund balance and transferring.
Yeah,
I would.
Hmm.
I mean, it's $4,000 over what we're putting into reserves already later today. So, I mean, I suppose you could reduce the reserve funding by $5,000.
You could take it out of one of the reserve
We
accounts.
could do that.
So if we wanted to slightly pinch reserve funding in,
General?
I mean, we need signs. I think they look nice too, and it's a nice touch. So based on what you're looking at, we're funding reserves with 715. And let's see, infrastructure repair, that's not repair, building replacement improvement. This is in building equipment repair. What if we were to just reduce one and then take it out of general for last, take it out of fund balance for last year, then the numbers all work out to be the same?
So take it out of, a budgeted existing reserve, I'd take it out of, I think it was, equipment. Or infrastructure, take it from infrastructure.
Okay, so then when we fund infrastructure later, we'll just pinch it down.
Those numbers aren't in there, the budget, just from the current budget, take
Oh, from
it
the
from the
current.
reserve, from the infrastructure to fund the operating line.
Okay,
So we're looking at taking how much?
We're taking 4,500 or
Um,
what are we
4,000,
taking?
no, 4,400, right? Because we've got 400,
Oh,
no,
it's
4,500.
4,500,
4,500.
Yep.
and if you can, allow us to send, because I think they're gonna want an immediate deposit of 50%, which is their standard protocol. So allow me to issue that payment immediately.
Okay.
Hey, Jim, do we have an idea of timing?
It's like 4 to 6 weeks.
And then you guys were putting them up or they put them
Sign company does.
signing?
This includes all the installation.
So 4 to 6 weeks-ish, you're thinking?
so then if I were to make a motion to approve the invoice as presented for $4,900, 400 coming from the old donation. And then 4,500 coming from the infrastructure reserve line on this year's budget.
Reserve, yeah, you got it.
And to issue payment for half of the invoice balance to move it forward.
For the down payment.
Yeah,
That's the motion.
yes.
I second.
Okay. I mean, he got through it once, don't make him do it again.
No, I
Thank
won't.
you.
Trustee Lampier.
Was it seconded? Yeah,
Yep,
yes, yes. My vote is yes.
Okay. She's defending,
time.
it's yes. Trustee Co.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. Thanks very much, Jim.
Yeah.
Nice
thank you.
presentation.
Jeff.
Thanks for your work on this.
Okay,
All right.
it's just, wow,
Okay,
It is
perfect timing.
the magical hour.
Mhm.
Hey.
Okay, it's 6 o'clock. And we have a public hearing for the special permit application at 3 Shane Place, Camellas Wine Bar. Hi, Joe. Come on up, have a seat.
Can I stand?
Or stand, yeah, standing is
Either
always
way.
good. Yeah, do the whole
Switch
thing.
it up.
Do the whole thing, sure. Yeah.
Before I go, because I'd like to clarify, thank you. At the beginning of the meeting, we were asked to disclose, and I did forget that we had a brief conversation, not before you came for application, but after, when you asked me if there was anything that I would like to hear in the next presentation. I think that was the question, and I said, no, that I thought you were very thorough. And that was the extent of our conversation. Other than that, we have had not any conversation prior to you coming to the meeting last time. We had no conversations at all. I had not met you. Met you recently and we had a brief conversation. I just want to make that clear.
Thank you.
Thank
Because I want nothing to stand in the way of my vote.
We love that. Okay, yeah, because we only have 4 people here. Okay.
I noticed.
Yeah.
I know. All good. We're here for you. Okay. Here we are. And we all have the application in front of us and it's very thorough. Thank you for all your information. Rod Extra, we have everything here. Is there anything you'd like to add?
I have a very similar monologue from the last time,
Mhm.
but I didn't know if being a public hearing for it was necessary.
I'm sorry?
I had a very similar monologue from the last one because it was
Okay.
very similar to what I would probably share today, so.
Okay.
Didn't know if it was worth it or just. move
Oh.
things along.
Okay, well then why don't we bring it back to the board and see if the board has any questions for
Yeah.
Mr. Lappy?
Yeah. The only thing, was the modification of the permit. So remind me the new hours that you're applying for.
So it will be from 11 to 11 and it'll be 7 days a week.
Great. Everything else in the application is as it was.
Absolutely.
Steve, did you have any concerns? Great.
You sit there? Okay.
I have
Any-
no
Any
concerns.
other comments from the board or questions?
There was just one clarification that came up at the last, and it wasn't from the applicant. And that was of the tavern district question and why this wasn't included in the tavern district. And I think that for clarification, and I think it's critical to me, and that's why I bring it up, is that the 11 PM closing would not be able to be enforced by this village if it were in the tavern district. If it was included in the tavern district, the liquor authority has control over that aspect. In this way, we are able to be sensitive to nearby neighbors by enforcing or at least requesting from the applicant 11 o'clock closing time, which means that the cleaning crews would come up in after that, and the bottles and everything, the trash coming out of the building afterwards would not be too much of a disturbance to neighbors at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
No, of
So
course.
So you're sensitive to that.
So last call around 10:30, kind of doors are, everyone's getting ushered out.
Right. So that was the part of
As
the,
best as we can, of course.
right, so that was part of the consideration of the board when we looked at this tavern district and drew a line, and it was a purposeful line because of the proximity of residential property. So I just wanted to clarify that, why it wasn't included in the tavern district.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm good with it.
Any other comments?
My comment, and this is kind of a silly one, but boy, if you can get people in the village of Pittsburgh to stay out till 11 o'clock,
You
you're
know,
doing really well. Because I've never seen any activity at 11 o'clock, except for Thirsties, obviously, but we close down.
I've heard,
Yeah,
but I've
so-
also garnered, a lot of conversation from people in the village that say that there's not a lot of places open
Yeah,
here
that's
as
why.
well,
Sure.
and that's why. So to have
An option.
and I like Thirsties like the rest of us from the time that you're in Europe, but a classier, a little easier going, loungy.
Yeah.
Well,
let's
place
see.
that for, other people to go.
Sure, absolutely.
I think if you build it, they will come.
That's true.
that is,
That's Kate, I'd like to see it.
So this is just a question of perspective, more for us in the future, but as an applicant and new business owner in the community, did you find the process convenient for you? Was the whole work through well received in your
So
regard?
coming from Illinois, I do as much research as I could have, being back in New York, not having gone through this in New York before.
Yeah.
Obviously with the special use permit, because the space prior was the similar concept, that was the only thing that had thrown me off. However, the board and the town did an amazing job at helping get going in the wheels.
Village.
The village, excuse me. I'm so sorry. The village, getting the wheels in motion to get this going and notify me so I can get the process going, and it has gone very smoothly.
And you've always thought of it as the restaurant with the wine bar. You never thought of it as just a wine bar with no food, had you?
Absolutely not. Food and wine should be together always. One elevates the other.
Yeah.
I would never think. Also, it's just a serve safe thing too. You would always want food for your guests, especially when you're drinking.
That's
You're
cool.
talking to a professional sommelier who knows
Yeah.
the business. I can tell.
I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Oh.
So this question is to Steve. Steve, should we go through the various lines when we do this?
What line?
Or no, not Steve. I'm sorry, Jeff.
Oh,
What line?
Jeff,
what was the question?
I'm asking Jeff in regards to the purpose and applicability that were included in the packet. Should we go through each one?
Sure.
Okay,
Well, we need to open the public hearing.
sounds like a plan.
Yep.
I make motion to open the public. hearing.
My second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Lampier.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Mayor Palmer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, the public hearing is now open on this matter. Is there anyone wishing to speak? Is there anybody online wishing to speak on the application?
I do not have any comments on this.
Okay. Is there a motion?
My only comment is we're very excited that you're here, and I think most residents are as well.
We're in the public hearing, you can comment after.
Oh, okay, all right. You can comment for that.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so should we make a motion
Yeah.
to close the public hearing? I make a motion to close the public hearing. Do I have a second? Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Marshall,
Aye.
trustee Coe,
Aye.
trustee Lampier,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, it's back to the board. Your comment?
So I spoke as a resident before, but now I'm speaking as a trustee. We are so happy you're here, and so are all our residents. So thank you for being here.
All right. Do you want me to go through these steps?
Yeah, why don't we do
Why
that?
don't we
and
just do it
start
real quick?
moving through.
So we'll just hammer it through. So the restaurant code asks, is it in accordance with comprehensive plan? Yes.
Yes.
Talks about allowed in specific districts. Yes, Steve has conferred. Location restrictions, this one does not apply, though there is one line where a restaurant is located within 200 linear feet of a residential use or district. The village board may impose restrictions to the hours of operation. We're not doing this beyond the 1111 application in this case. Let's see. Does it create a hazard to the public safety, general welfare? No. Does it alter the character of the neighborhood, interfere with residents' normal use of property?
Mhm.
No, and there's more beyond that. Does it include fast food service, drive-through facilities, or operate in any manner as a nightclub? No. Cause a traffic hazard or unsafe conditions? No. Due to its location or proximity to a residence would result in nuisances or excessive negative impacts that may not be feasibly mitigated? No, and in fact, we had the resident come and support it
Mhm, yeah.
at the last meeting.
Dave, you forgot number 5, damage sensitive views, landscapes, natural features, or historic features that may not be feasible.
Oh, that's right.
That's, nope.
No.
Okay.
Okay,
No.
we shared our historic
Yeah.
building. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Fail to provide adequate parking to support the proposed use without causing a parking shortage. It's a private lot across the street, and you actually suggested it will remain open as such. Additional application requirements, complete copy of any application filed with the New York State Liquor Authority. You need to do that. So let me just read this again. Additional application requirements, a complete copy of any application filed with and license issued by the New York State Liquor Authority shall be provided with any application subject to this chapter. Do we need to worry about that?
I have my liquor license application that I'm happy to pass on to you if you'd like. I already
Yeah.
have a conditional letter of approval, waiting for the space to be built, but I can give that to you.
It could be part of the approval.
Great.
Should be part of the
We'll
approval,
just do it
John.
as an
Yeah,
approval with a condition,
Mhm.
of course.
yeah, just because you're in process with them.
A waste management plan shall be required to provide a location that has a room to accommodate refuse in accordance with the code. So that'll be with Steve, and it's already been done, I believe. Special permit, other considerations. Conformance with district building use and lot requirements, that's all set. Conformance with all applicable regulations for certain uses, that's done. Adequacy, this is the same thing that was did, just different words. So then I will see, what do we do here? Do we have to label it any? No,
No, those are just,
Yeah.
those are the findings that you've made in conformity with whatever's in there.
Jeff,
Jeff,
I answered that to
save
you.
people
What's your
tonight.
name?
gentleman to my left. Been here long enough. Hey, we're thinking about other stuff tonight.
Okay, so we're,
Right.
it's found to be in
We're twins.
compliance,
It is.
and that's on the record.
So I'll make a motion.
Hang on.
There you go. I'll make a motion to approve the special permit application with only one contingency, that is the liquor authority licenses submitted to the building inspector.
Application.
Send it to Steve or block it in.
Send it to
Steve.
Awesome.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Trustee Coe,
Hi.
trustee Marshall,
Aye.
trustee Lampier,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Welcome.
Ah,
Welcome.
Sante. Okay, good luck.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Well, that's deferred. All right. Next up is the review of the LMC contract. This is an update on the contract with the engineer. I think everybody has received that in their packet regarding the 75 Monroe project. This engineer is providing additional oversight on this project. So what you're seeing is just, the amendment to that, so we can move things forward there. Is there any questions that you have?
How's it look, Steve? Any issues or? I didn't see anything, but
It's building a new foundation next week.
Yeah, the Benjamin Foundation, yeah.
Pardon? It's done, and they're ready.
We're digging now.
Dig.
They've been digging.
For the foundation for the first building.
All right, I'll entertain a motion, Mr.
Make a motion to approve contract as presented.
I second.
Okay, roll call.
Trustee Lampier.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. Next up, reserve funding, and I think we've all seen a lot about the reserves. Yeah.
All right.
So at this point, unless there's, any other thoughts or considerations regarding, we spoke about how they were gonna be funded, all of that. What we're looking for tonight is for the board to actually direct Jeff now to create the language for these
The
ones.
transfers.
Yeah, for the transfers and set it all, so we can set this up.
Okay. I make a motion to direct Jeff to create the language so that we can move the amounts that I've indicated in the packet to each reserve as indicated in the packet. Do you want me to read them off?
No,
No.
they will be, they'll be in the form of resolutions.
Okay.
That you will adopt for each.
Yeah.
Movement.
Thank you.
I second.
We have a motion and a second.
I just have to say, I was waiting for questions. I don't know if I'm
We have
disappointed.
so.
thrilled.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
All right, well, I'm thrilled. So trustee Lampier,
Aye.
trustee Coe,
Aye.
trustee Marshall,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay,
And I don't know if in my motion I said for the general fund or for the sewer, but I presume it was both.
I think you said the resolutions listed in the pack.
That sounds.
I'm sorry.
yeah, for this is,
Reserve funds.
yeah, for all the reserves, okay,
Yep.
so we're covered. We're covered, okay.
And before we get into the
Yeah.
reports, I'm going to excuse myself because I'm gonna make an airport run.
Oh my gosh.
Make an airport run? You going
Going
away?
into the airport.
You are? You going out of town?
Speaking of.
Oh.
Picking up. She's
Oh,
the
that.
Uber, she's
Uber
Ubering,
driver.
Thank you.
Okay.
yeah. It's her evening job, okay. Next up, DPW report.
Before we go
Oh,
there,
before we
we
go
had
there.
the special permit application.
Oh, right.
Oh, right.
Oh,
I think I left a message from Charlie, I didn't know.
ooh,
Is,
Just as a quick note, the second floor comment is only germane to the traditional downtown zone. It's not germane to
To the state
21
street.
state.
Right.
mhm.
Okay. I think with just this, we can still move to the public hearing.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
asking. the
Yeah,
board
just
to
to
come.
get it going. Yeah, Jeff.
Does the board have questions about anything that additionally they need on this application? Because that could be relayed to the applicant on your way to the public hearing, so that they showed up,
Everything's already been,
everything's ready.
yeah,
So
I didn't have anything.
if you have questions from the application, then Dorothea can
convey
notify them,
that.
and Steve will contact.
Okay,
I do have one, proposed
Yeah.
hours of operation, 8 to 12 hours.
Is that 4 AM?
Like, what is
Yeah,
that?
when does it
oh,
start?
yeah, that was.
Is that
It
8?
says 8 to 12 hours are gonna be open, but what time do they open and what time do they close? Are they
So
opening
let's
at
get a
4 AM?
clarification on that.
Yeah, we need clarification for that.
That's an action item, please.
Got it.
Clarification on this application. Okay, for hours of operation.
Is that disposal, everything
Yeah, I
that
think,
this thing generates described well enough for the board's satisfaction?
Right at payments.
And if they want to further describe what a foot spa's facial skincare is, but I don't think I need it.
I think there was a similar business there prior to this, so I think I believe it's, am I correct?
It
It was
is zoned for the use.
Excuse me?
It is zoned for the use.
Yeah,
I make a motion to move this to public hearing
what date, please?
on
April 8th at 6 P.M.
April 8th at 6 P.M.
Second.
We have a second?
Okay, trustee Co,
Aye.
trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Those bastard people. Okay. Okay, thanks for bringing that back, I forgot.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, the DPW report. Hi, Zach.
Sorry, I wasn't able to get you guys a formal report on time. I had a couple of days off last week and then dealing with some other things this week so
Yeah.
far, so. Majority of the work that we've been doing, you've probably seen, it's mostly just spring cleanup, trying to get the roads looking as well as possible. Transitioning from winter work to spring, summer, getting all the schedules ready to go and the work kind of outlined for us, so we have a plan. On top of that, we've been doing, job and safety training, for myself and the crew, so. It's got a lot of new employees, a lot of training going on, so. And the vehicle purchases, which the quotes were included in the, meeting packet, so you guys had a chance to read that. And, the mirrors under the North Main Street Bridge, I think we have to have a conversation about, I don't know if you guys have noticed it.
No,
Okay.
I haven't looked at them recently.
The
Mirrors.
mirrors under the North.
Oh, the
Main Street
mirrors,
Bridge.
yeah, I haven't been
I
down
haven't
that
looked-
way,
yeah, I
but
haven't
that's
looked.
always an issue with the mirrors.
Yes,
Anyway.
so last, when we first came up last, I think it was last summer, we actually, when we finally had them up, through the end of the cycling season. They had already been spray painted like 3 or 4 times, so us trying to clean the spray paint off of them, was problematic, and now one of the mirrors is missing and there's still spray paint that's kind of etched itself into the other mirror. So.
Is there any way of getting them high, hanging them off the top bridge?
Yeah.
They're as high as we can go. All right, so the question is it worth the cost and upkeep if they're always getting vandalized for us?
It's a tough call.
Right.
It is, because
You
it's a
know,
safety issue.
It is a safety,
Yeah.
but if they're spray painted over half the time, it's
Yeah,
not very safe.
Yeah, it's not
And costing
ongoing.
us a lot of money.
right.
And there's no way to hang them off the bridge top.
DOT won't allow us to attach anything to the other side of the bridge.
Oh.
So I mounted them in a way that was similar to, what a mirror that exists under Clover Street at Lock 32. And that way we wouldn't have to seek approval from the DOT. It was just a canal approval.
I have
We-
a, oops, sorry,
Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I was just gonna come up with a uniquely different novel idea, which is just get clear, sticky, removable, tape of some sort or a cover. So just go, every time you see it get spray painted, just go peel it off and put a new one on.
Oh,
If there was material that worked like that, I'm not sure if there is.
3M probably has one.
Yeah, I'm wondering,
Let's
you
try
know, yeah, I like that
Let's look
idea.
into
Just
If
keep
I
looking
can
at
find
it.
something close to that, that would work.
Yeah,
I'm not sure the liability issues would come if there wasn't, if it was defective.
no, I mean, basically you're just looking at clear sort of sticky stuff, kind of like what you put on the outside of a cell phone.
right, like a
Right.
cell phone cover.
It's
And
like a
whatever.
saran wrap, and then you
Yeah.
peel it
Take it
off.
off,
before
Yeah,
you
every
like-
time it's spray.
Exactly.
Oh, I see what you're saying, not the actual reflective
No,
surface.
No.
So like a little
Yeah,
cover.
yeah.
Covering it and
That's,
taking the
that's
sheet
an
off.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
just
I
like
like
pick
it.
that up and go to 3M or go somewhere. I know when I had, some windows, you know, I was looking for, that sort of material for the inside of a bathroom window down low where it was clear. And, I wanted to have it be blocked from the outside. But when I was looking for that, you saw a lot of clear stuff as well.
You can get clear windows. Just
Yeah,
try with
yeah,
that.
try
Try
it.
with
Yeah, there's a
these.
ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
okay.
try
That's
Good
a good
idea.
idea. So do we want to replace the 2 mirrors that are there in kind?
Are they that bad that they need to be replaced? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's bad.
Anyone has spray paint that's been etched into.
Yeah, let's.
I would say replace the mirrors and start with this new
Start with-
idea.
Okay.
And every time that it gets spray painted, just peel it up, put a new one up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this
Yes.
area is
Good
monitored
lad,
by
thank you.
video recording.
Yeah.
Could we put a little sign, this area is monitored by video surveillance?
They'll waive it as they. do.
Yeah, probably.
But that's a low-tech solution that
Yeah.
may at least be
That's a great idea.
practical, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and manageable for
It's
everybody.
worth a shot.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Even if it's not perfect and there's little
Yeah,
bubbles or
right.
creases,
Oh.
like, whatever.
Yeah,
Totally
right.
good with it.
That's fine. I thought you were talking about like the actual.
No.
No.
surface.
Okay, so that's one. What else?
We're good. I guess just approval on the purchase of the large dump trucks, which is a
Big one.
Yeah, that's
Big one.
And then, I don't know if you wanted to discuss, the leaf vacuum, at this meeting tonight. I know there are only 3 of you. But it was a little more than what I had anticipated for the purchase of it. And also we would have to have, approval because the pricing's based on Sourcewell, which is a cooperative purchasing, contract of sorts.
Mhm.
And I was hoping that I could get Jeff to weigh in on the process of the board approving, a cooperative purchasing contract. That it'd be similar to like how the state or the county functions, you just be able to piggyback off of any contract in general. This is just a cooperative that I think is run by Michigan.
And the benefit is,
Cost, right?
Yeah,
You're
so
getting cost reduction. I just wanna-
contract
you're in the
pricing.
pool with everybody.
Yeah, I like
Get
that
it.
idea.
Okay.
I think we should do more of that.
And no bidding.
And no bid, so you're good, you're in.
The price is what it is,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Find out the answer to your question.
I'm sorry,
I'm going to have to find out the answer to your question.
okay. All right, so the quote is what it is. If the village would like to purchase a new leaf vacuum, that's what the number would be. There's only, and this is to replace a kind,
Mhm.
which the ODB, Old Dominion, they really do have market lockdown on leaf vacuums. And
Mhm.
this is, it's in kind to what we have, which is 2008, which still is a good machine. So even 15, 17 years later, it's still running strong.
Okay.
So are we looking for an additional one or to replace this one?
To replace this,
Is it broken?
it's old and we've
Yeah,
been experiencing a lot of problems with it.
you had some issues with it this past
Partially what
season.
held us up, in the fall, collecting leaves.
And you're looking to get additional leaf boxes.
Yeah, that's included in,
Yeah.
so a new leaf box is included in, the bid spec for one of these trucks. And then
Mhm.
the second leaf box will be included, the spec for the
Mhm.
one-ton replacement.
Which I think will make a difference too.
Yeah, having 2
Yeah.
leaf boxes will allow us more movement, and less downtime waiting for a truck to go.
Mhm.
dump.
So what I don't know from what I see in front of me is the difference in what we're seeing and what you're recommending we approve and what is in the budgets.
Okay, so this is tricky. This was a budgetary item, coming out of this year to do 1 truck.
Mhm.
To put it to ban and then next year to put it on. But you're so close to next year and it's turning out that it's gonna be a year delivery. So I did talk to Bernie Donigan and initially ran the 500,000. They're gonna give me updated numbers. I don't see the updated numbers and it could be on me, but you're looking at about. Around a $50,000 payment for 10, or it could go to 15 years for the equipment. So it'd be whether the board wants to do a 10 or 15
Mhm.
year bond. But the thing is, you wouldn't even be doing that yet. You'd have to do a bond resolution. All you would be agreeing to tonight is a letter of intent to purchase these vehicles since it's a year out. So
It's getting us in the hopper.
what it's doing
basically.
is, the one thing it is
Yeah.
doing, you can put the order in, it's protecting the pricing.
Oh, that's
Which,
true.
between the time we talked about this originally went up $50,000.
Oh,
So
jeez.
if we can
Mm.
protect that pricing, probably is
Okay.
in our benefit.
Let me ask you just a couple questions. Zach. So we have truck 1, it says 240, I see what's in it. Truck 2, it says 307, I see what's in it. Right? I get to the next page where it says Valley Fab and Equipment and it shows 6,200. That's embedded in the truck 1 cost. So is that first page just a summary of everything that comes after it?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so then I got Valley Fab and Equipment doing some stuff And then I've got SEI doing something else.
The SEI, that is the leaf vacuum, so that should have been at the end of all these quotes.
That is not included in
That
that.
is not in the truck, yes.
Okay. So the leaf vacuum is separate and distinct. And I'm looking at 92,400.
Yes.
What's the 84,000 in comparison? Oh, that's 2004 pricing versus 5 pricing. Joy.
Yeah,
Okay, remind me.
So just to be clear, I'm not looking for approval to purchase the leaf vacuum.
Okay, you're just showing.
Yeah, because I think we
'Cause,
still
yeah,
would need approval from.
from
board.
Jeff.
For the cooperative purchasing.
That doesn't have to be separate. The question is whether or not that's a safe substitute for a bidding process,
yeah. Mhm.
because the state contracts are.
Yeah, I don't know much about cooperative agreements.
Nothing.
Do we know about it?
I think we need to research it a little bit.
Pass along all the information to Dorothea, so she has a link to the
I'll pass
website.
it to you.
Okay,
And Dorothea wants to distribute that to everybody
Mhm.
on board, Jeff.
I did review the site. The thing it didn't provide me is the action the municipality needs to take. My guess is we have to do some kind of motion second to accept the cooperative purchase.
to use that process.
Yeah, but I think that needs to be verified and
Are
then,
there any other municipalities doing this? Do we know that we can
I
even
don't.
kind of get a gauge on stuff?
As far as I know, there are a lot of
Well,
enough that these vendors are,
anybody close? List?
Yeah, that's what,
I would imagine so, but nobody I can speak of,
I can
Right
email
now.
the other clerks.
yeah.
yeah, let's just see
Yeah.
what's out there, you know,
It's not
just get a
reasonable.
gauge. I don't have any gauge on.
Yeah,
You know,
this is first time
Yeah.
coming across that. But I would suggest to the board, if you're looking at this be a early May decision.
mhm,
And
okay,
at that point, look at where
We'll
we
know.
stand with the budget and
Okay,
if we feel we
Yeah.
need to move, do this, let's shift money around and
Yeah.
then make the purchase.
so the comment is, thanks for the information, but do nothing now. We'll hear more from you guys.
mhm.
Yes.
Okay. The next one is the Conway Beam Truck Group.
So the Conway beam, that is the vendor for the actual truck, so the cab and the chassis. And then Valley Fast is the outfitter. So they would take, once Conway beam were to get the truck in,
Okay.
the truck then gets shipped to Valley Fab for being
All right.
outfitted with everything.
Yeah, the ordering of the agenda had that SEI sort of snuck in between. So what you're saying is the Conway Beam is the truck and it slides up to the top and is connected. to the
Yeah,
other
it's sort of out of order a little bit.
All right,
Yeah.
that's okay. Now I understand what I'm looking at. That makes some sense.
Sorry, that was a merge issue on my part.
No, that's okay.
We can sort it.
Yeah, I was just piecing together what I'm looking at. Now I understand. Okay, so then what do you need from us?
If you're good to do the trucks, I would authorize the letter of intent or the purchase, whatever it's called.
Letter.
Letter of intent, thank you, I had it right the first time.
We've done
We can get if you want to authorize me to reach out to the bonding attorney, I can get at least the bond resolution done for the board. So we have that in place when it's time to purchase.
I'm not sure if it would have to be two different letter of intent or four, because
Oh,
technically it's two different trucks, so.
well, it's two different entities that are doing the work.
Two different entities, but two different trucks that each get outfitted differently. So there's a contract or a quote that would be needed.
What do we need to do for a motion? That's where I think we're going.
I don't
Yeah.
know how many letter of intents that would be needed.
Can
That's kind of
we-
why I'm bringing this up.
Can we do a motion to issue the necessary letter of intent to purchase truck 1 and truck 2 as required?
Yes.
What she said.
And I'm thinking that it's probably gonna be two letters of intent. One to the truck people and the other to the outfit. No, I don't know. You gotta figure that out. I mean, just say, what do you need?
From the vendor, yeah.
So the vendor's telling us, well, we need 4 letters of credit or 2 letters of credit.
Okay, so the motion could be letters of intent to purchase the 2 trucks and have them fitted appropriately with the 2 different vendors. With Zach defining the information to bring back to.
I would just say we're authorizing the letters of intent necessary
They're
to
authorized.
finish, to provide the village with a finished product of these 2 trucks.
Oh, that's good. Finished product.
What Jeff said.
Yeah, what Jeff said. Okay,
All right, I make a motion to authorize Jeff to, or the village to submit letters of intent necessary to provide the finished products as noted in our packet, and to have Dorothea reach out to the bond attorney as necessary to move that forward.
My second.
Okay, trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Wonderful, thank you.
I do have a question for you, Zach. Do we ever mulch our street trees?
I was gonna get back, yes.
Because I think that like, South Main, North Main, and even Monroe and State Street, if we could just do those. Because you walk by Del Monte and it's all nice and mulched, and then you see our street trees and they're just dying there, they're just sitting there.
Yeah.
Because I think that would make a
Given the
huge
environment that they sit in, the mulch does tend to wash away or get trampled quite often, a little bit different than the grounds around the Delphine. We try to keep up on it as much as possible, but every year we kind of go a different color mulch, so that's to be determined yet.
Okay.
And we're just breaking.
But they'll be mulched.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
great. And then the other thing I have now that we have those beautiful new brick sidewalk areas. I know last year they were just overgrowing with weeds. Are we gonna be able to take, because they're just so pretty, but then you got the weeds going on. I
we
mean,
have enough staff now to really
okay,
maintain it.
great, thank you.
That's
Okay.
really where it's going.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, high
there
school
was-
kid to come around
yeah.
and spray the soap and salt.
Okay.
While we're on budget items, this may be an aside, but the temporary, or no, the preliminary budget adoption,
Mm-hmm.
did we already do that?
You did.
Mhm.
Wow, we,
You did the tentative budget last.
Your budget
I know we had the budget meeting last week, but we basically adopted the,
You did, you adopted the tentative budget.
At last meeting.
We're
We'll have
cooking
the-
now.
We'll have the public hearing
Yeah.
next meeting.
Okay.
We're working on the budget.
I knew we
packet.
were done, I just forgot that we actually did it. I thought it was gonna be this meeting.
You blocked it out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
It went so
gonna
smooth.
Yeah,
No, we'll have the budget
formalized for the presentation.
next meeting, and I'll be issuing out, the legal notice went out, I'll be putting out the normal thing I put out
Great,
for the public, and I can't speak tonight apparently, so, but we'll be following standard protocol.
yeah, okay, great.
Yep.
I knew like the end of this month, the day it needed to be done, we already did it.
Okay, I just want to close out Zach's report and then we can maybe circle back a bit. Yeah. Is there anything else, Zach, for us? Anything else for Zach? Thanks for doing all the
Thanks,
good cleanups. Thanks for doing all the good cleanups
Yeah.
and getting good feedback from people.
Glad to hear it.
And I know you've been taking a look at, maybe where you've hit a little bit of people's lawns and kind of remedying and,
That'll be next.
Yeah.
As soon as we know that the threat of snow is actually gone.
Right.
Yeah, then we'll
Yeah.
be doing all the.
Right.
yeah, no, it's much appreciated. Thank
Thank
you.
Absolutely.
Thanks, the crew. Okay.
What's the warranty on the truck, by the way? What's the warranty on the truck? So
That I don't know.
but they're new.
Yes.
5 days.
5 days.
I did.
We can find out.
Yeah,
We'll
I'll
find
find that
it.
information out.
Okay,
Okay,
next up, building inspector. Hey, Steve. Okay, we have Steve's report.
Yeah, so Steve, you brought in 5230 in just the permitting in the last 6 weeks to our budget.
Yeah.
That's huge, right? It's like you're working on a grant. You're working from a grant. Dorothy, are you excited?
I'll take any.
That's-
Anybody.
Staff member wants to recruit.
Anybody.
And then the other question I have, Steve, I walked by the luxury apartments down near the 7 Monroe.
Yep.
Looks like they're being big. They're starting to bring tenants in. Yeah, yeah. Cool, okay,
Yeah,
all right.
And I'm down to 13 on the rental registry.
wow,
Wow,
that's darn
that's
good.
amazing.
50.
That is
Wow,
really good.
thank you. That's great.
And I know you've been chasing people down and thank you for that. I know it's not easy.
Yes, yes, thanks.
I know.
is there anything that we should be aware of? Or that we should have a conversation about?
I do have a concern,
Accept my report. In regards to 75 and Roll.
Yeah, I can speak to that. I've been directly in touch with the consultant, with the inspector. And there will be weekly reports, and there's gonna be an update issued. That'll bring us current.
All right.
Yep,
So you want weekly reports? Steve?
yep,
Okay,
we all want weekly
yeah,
reports.
thank you.
Yep.
Thanks for staying on that.
Mhm.
That's all I have.
Okay. Thanks for your good work.
Well, welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up, treasurer's report.
Me,
Yep, coming back to you.
I do apologize, somehow in my craziness, I forgot to put the financials for February, they were done.
Well, we can, we know they're there. Thank
It was,
you.
it's a good story.
Okay,
But anyway, we'll have that talk next
okay,
meeting.
thank you.
The bill pay looks a little heavy, but we have the rest of Airquip, that's,
Yeah,
we have some attorney bills. So a few big tickets, but speaking of Airquip, I'm just gonna notify the board, the final stages of the $100,000 grant with Disney was approved.
yeah.
We received notification yesterday.
So say that again.
The $100,000 grant went through all the final stages of approval,
Mhm.
so hopefully pretty soon, I'm hoping in the next couple weeks, I can issue to get reimbursed for the equipment for the heating.
Yeah, I get 100,000 back.
Great.
So, and that'll help cover, and that brings me to the other update. The front porch.
Mhm.
Barrow was hoping to have paperwork to me for this meeting to go out to bid,
Mhm.
so that is delayed till next meeting. We had to do some last minute asbestos testing and other things,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, just because it's so old.
just to make
Yeah.
sure. So, but that's moving along, and that will be covered by that grant that was approved from Disney.
Which is great.
Okay,
All right.
Yeah.
so is there any questions on the bill pay?
If not, a motion.
So I'm looking at, our crossing guard agreement. Town of Pittsburgh,
Yep,
bill pay. So we pay for that? Doesn't the school, do the schools pay for that?
We
I-
split it.
we split it.
We all split it.
So town, school, town, village
Towns-
and school split it?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
We've always done it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was implemented, I want to say, 5 years ago?
it's been a while now.
Yeah, 6 years, and it's really good.
Yeah,
It's
but
been
I
very
thought that they were volunteers, no? We're paying? them?
No,
I
no,
thought they were
no,
volunteers, okay.
no, they're trained and
Okay.
that's what
I
they
think
do.
there was a problem with using volunteers.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't.
Liability.
All right.
Yeah.
All
Make a
right,
motion to approve the bill pay as presented.
I second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Marshall?
Aye.
Trustee Coe?
Aye.
Mayor Plummer?
Aye.
Motion passes. And my last thing is we received, as we did last year, and this is a little different, we received requests for the town of Pittsburgh to use our parking lot for paddle and board. They did last year, but I believe this requires board approval.
This parking lot.
Yep,
Mhm.
they had activities in our parking lot.
Oh, that's right, for the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, the kids loved it,
So
yeah.
they're doing the same, just, it
Yeah.
wasn't rides or anything, right? It was just like craft tables and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And it's after hours? Or is it on a weekend?
We'll call it
Weekend.
paddle and
I think
board.
it's after hours and during the paddle and board.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
So
over
it's
the
not gonna
weekend.
affect.
It's
impact
Memorial
us.
Day weekend.
So you need a vote of approval? or-
I need a vote of approval for the mayor to sign the,
So I can sign it.
Access.
I'll make a motion for the mayor to sign the access for the town to use our parking lot for paddle and board. Do you have a second?
Roll call.
okay, trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, next.
Minutes.
Okay. We have February 25th. Anything?
First one's the budget.
Yeah. Pretty. sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes as presented for February 25th.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. Next up, the meeting, February 25th.
Mm, I make a motion to approve the February 25th minutes for the Board of Trustees. Do I have a second?
Okay, trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Oh,
Motion passes.
okay. Creeping out. Member items.
So I have something that I just kind of have a question and some discussion. So since I've been on the board, we have the 45-day, we've been waiving this 45-day non-municipal permit. It seems every single time we get one, we waive it. So my question is, why do we even have it? And should we look at that and maybe decrease the amount of time? Because it seems like it's a waste for us to have a regulation that we never uphold.
It was it was put in place well before me.
Bring me.
Yeah, it's been there like
Okay,
forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I
These
waive it every
these
single time.
applications, they come to, and then sometimes they didn't realize they had it in time. I think it was encouraged to get the applications in plenty of time for the board.
Oh, to give them a
review.
deadline.
Yeah, we seem to get them at deadline. I say this is up to the board. The only thing I think, well, let me try to put this in English. Giving some requirement of time is good because
Yeah.
we
Right.
have to get it to you. I have to do that. So maybe 45 days is too long. I don't know. I refer
Is
to.
there any
the
thought on
guidelines.
that?
I think that this board, almost any board, they walked in that night and the board was able to understand it well enough, will probably say, okay, so, it's not like you're publishing it, so there's got to be an advance notice for publication. I think it's up to the board.
Well, isn't it on the agenda? It's in the agenda packet, so technically you are. You're putting it.
Right, no, I know, but that's the first notice the public gets,
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
right?
It's,
Well, from a village clerk standpoint, when do you
For-
want to see it? so
for
that
me,
you
I
know
like
it's
to
us?
have a little bit of notice,
So what is a little bit? What would you
but
say?
I mean, as long
45
as
days is pretty
That's a
darn long.
That's a
As long
long
as I
time.
get it to the packet and if they followed our regular submittal times.
Should we
that
say
we-
1 week?
Or how about 2 weeks in between meetings?
Well,
That's 14
What's our
days.
regular smell?
I have the deadline on the thing, so I usually ask for things like a week before.
so if I may,
Thanks.
so we have times where we don't meet for a month. There are sometimes months that go by, right?
Right.
31 days.
Yeah.
So
we-
if after one meeting, okay, the very next day, they submit a permit and we have less than 31 days, it's gonna require us to get together for that application. So by having at least 31 days, it means that the farthest from one meeting to the next, we don't have to hear it. We don't have to schedule a special meeting for a permit that should have been in 31 days before, right?
No.
No, no.
The issue is sort of more driven by when is the event?
Right.
Does the event fall within?
But what if the event was the same day as the next meeting? Meaning you want the application to come early enough to hit the agenda.
Mhm.
And if we don't have 31 days and they have a 2 weeks out and they submit an application, we have a 2-week requirement, but our next meeting isn't 30 days. Then we gotta get together because we told them 2 weeks is enough.
There's 5 months that fall into this one meeting typically.
Oh, yeah.
There's summer.
The summer.
Or
And then the
tries to
holiday.
do one in
Holiday.
November and December.
We usually have special meetings.
Well, I'm still confused.
Yeah, I am too.
If you say to somebody, you must get your application in 10 days before the meeting at which you want to have it
Yes.
heard,
What's the
then
problem?
it
Right.
doesn't matter when your next meeting is. It only matters
10
that they
days
have
before
it
the
in-
meeting.
have it in at least 10 days.
So that's a unique, different way. So instead of being
Yeah.
10 days before the event,
Right.
10 days before
For
the
the
meeting.
next meeting.
Right.
That's-
Oh, I always thought of it.
Which is what Dorothy
Yeah,
had
me
said,
too.
because she said, my normal meeting submission dates.
Right.
And I think the way it is now, it's 45 days before the event.
Right, so we
I
want 10
think that's
days,
the language we need to.
So-
10
So
days.
change it prior to the meeting.
10 days before the next meeting.
So depending on how it's written, if it's
That's the
currently in the code as before
If you
the
took-
event,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I was just saying, if it's currently in the code as before the event, I would say reduce it to 31. If it's in the code as before the meeting, or you want to change it to that, that's fine, and 10 days is probably
Why wouldn't we change it to
So
the-
just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
it's
just
okay
take
for
it, take that time provision out of the code and then you're left with your.
My submittal date.
Before the
your-
meeting.
your-
Yeah, then it's just a policy
Right.
submittal.
Yeah, it's
Right.
on them to meet the submission dates.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because they want to have an event, they're gonna
Yeah.
do it.
Because it's no use having a requirement or a law when no
Okay,
one
so-
follows.
So as it stands now, it's 45 days prior to the date the non-municipal use event is scheduled to
Right.
commence.
Right.
So if you want to just keep the language the same, you reduce it to 30, and that's probably as good as we can get. But if you want to do it.
I
to-
say we do it to the,
Right,
because
like
we're
it
still gonna
should
have the
be
same
done.
problem.
Just
Sure.
make it clear.
Yeah,
It's
it's
clear.
clear.
There's more clarity,
Right.
you know, if anytime I think we can make the code
Yes,
clearer, let's
agree.
do it.
It's easier for all of us.
Yeah,
Can
Yeah,
I
but-
present a challenge to that though, which is if you do it prior to a meeting, we have the authority to change meetings, delay meetings, defer meetings, not have meetings.
Well,
And-
that would be put it on me to let the board know I
So,
have an
yeah,
application.
what's gonna happen is if you did that, Dorothy would say, I need 3 of you to do a non-municipal.
You need a
use
quorum,
permit
yep.
That's gonna happen before.
Right, which
Yeah.
I think.
which is.
And that might happen, what, once a year if that?
If that, because you
If we really
see,
know what's going on.
Yeah.
those have been reduced. I think this is the first one we've had in over a year because of the new
Yeah.
approval status for them. So I think it's very rare.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
does 10 days make sense?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. If they follow my
Yeah,
submission
Right,
date.
so, right,
Okay,
so
so-
if we just say nothing, you take out the time provision entirely, then they are stuck with your submission date.
Yeah,
As the date has to be it.
Is that, okay,
that works for me.
all right.
I generally
Okay.
don't like it, that's.
You don't like it? What do you like about it? It's, you
That's
like it
all right.
better than having to waive every time we
That's all
come here, we just waive it? It's like, why even have it?
I think it's clearer for
Yeah,
anybody.
it's
reading the code.
clearer. Can we try it and see?
You know, it
how
just
it's
says,
possible?
put it in 10 days ahead of the meeting. I
Do we have
mean,
to vote on it?
Well, I
Well,
think
we're
you gotta
not-
direct Jeff to create.
Can we
to amend-
direct?
Well, are you, it sounds like Dave's not happy.
I like the days before the event better than the days before the. I just,
Oh, but I
even
want to
if we waive
understand why though, but please help me with, I
Because
want to understand that
I-
really.
I continue to feel that the flexibility of meeting dates and the more fluid nature that they can be, right, even though they're scheduled and they're in the calendar. If you don't have a, application requirement and a date embedded in the code, when somebody goes to do a non-municipal, they're gonna have to look to a different section of the code or talk to the clerk differently. And I think you want, when does it need to go in, embedded in that specific section of the code? And I think days prior to the event, 45 days, you go to 30, I don't mind waiving it, it's like. Quick,
And you raised an interesting point now, I'm
Then I'd
just,
leave it at 45.
Hmm?
I'd leave it at
then
45.
why change it? Because
change it.
because this is sort of where I'm going. The waiving of this is like, I mean, have we ever denied an event that because of the 45 days?
No, we never do. That's what I'm
Do you
saying. why
see
even
where I'm
have
going?
it,
So
right?
in a way,
got-
it's
we
almost
got a
moot
rule.
whether we change it or not after all this discussion, because we would waive it
Well,
anyway.
I just don't like to have.
I think
laws
it's-
that
I'm
are
not sure that we have that kind of, and okay, man, I'm having a conversation with myself. I don't think we do that for any other permitting, but that's probably because a lot of them are public hearing permits, so they're gonna be publicly, they're gonna be heard anyway, there's gonna be a notice anyway, so.
It just sets a precedence. Oh, you just waive it. Just waive that, waive that, waive that, waive that. it seems like it just sets a precedence that
Yeah,
none of our requirements are set and we're just gonna be waiving everything.
I would also say though, in the event that an application before us in 45 days has a degree of public discourse that has to occur. So far, they've been very easy, but it's very possible that you have somebody submitting for a public non-municipal use that's contentious. And you want to give it more time for the community to be able to communicate and see it and hear it. And we're waiving it because most of them aren't. And that's good. That's okay. That's
Yeah, it's
just-
pretty benign.
Right, so I'd say let's just keep it going that way. Doesn't hurt anybody and nobody
Why don't we
knows it
research
exists.
what other communities do?
Sure, I can ask him.
Yeah.
I
I
can-
just say, just
You know,
out of curiosity.
I'm curious, because you do,
Yeah.
I mean, I can see both
Like I
sides,
said.
you know?
I don't like to have
There's a-
regulations come out of holding.
there's a reason that it was 45 days originally, but I have no idea what it was.
Well, it was so long ago, though, it seems, right? It was
Yeah,
before.
I mean, it's
Okay.
probably been a really code that we've ever had,
Okay.
starting in 57.
Okay, there's nothing have.
Wow, that's something.
I'm
Okay,
guessing it was in the 57 code.
Yeah, I did have.
I wasn't around.
Two quick items.
okay, yep.
I just wanted to make a general comment to the staff. yesterday was tough, and I'm sorry you had to go through that. And I appreciate your resolve and banding together and all the effort that you put in and just the emotion that you're going through. So, hey, we stand
Thank you.
behind you. Let us know how we can help.
Thanks.
And I know the mayor's been in communication a lot with you guys and so. And then I had a question to Jeff with regards to the refuse district and have you come to any understanding?
I'm
yet?
still staying with me to the woman. Found out she hasn't gotten it for the final answer.
Okay.
We had a couple other things come up. In the same time frame, and I just haven't gotten back,
Okay,
Okay,
but I'll
okay,
over my.
thanks.
okay. Yeah, I just in line with what, you know, the event that occurred here yesterday. I'd like it on the next agenda, maybe that we really kind of drill down here on what does safety and security look like for our employees here and also at the DPW. What does that look like where I do not want our staff and our DPW to come to work every day with like a pit in their stomach because they don't feel safe. So I think that should be on the next agenda and, you know, maybe take a look at, you know, our security cameras, maybe they need to, you know, we need maybe a little better there. Other possibilities with security when you enter the doors into the office, you know, those kinds of things. I know the police department said that they would be willing, the sheriff's department, excuse me, would be willing to come out. They did it once and but maybe revisit some security measures that they thought would be helpful. And I think we should bring that back to the whole board for
Okay.
discussion.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think definitely a definition between our private space and the public
Yeah.
space.
Okay.
You know, we're always willing to tour with the residents, that's not it, but we definitely need that defining.
People have to feel safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does, to have conversations about security, can we do that in a private session?
I don't think so.
So that's interesting.
Well,
You're all here, boys.
Yeah, like,
You're all like.
Actually,
well,
Executive session?
Okay. No, there was a discussion that I had at NICOM when it does affect having the public know about something that may compromise the security of people in the building. If they were to know about that,
right,
then it would, that
right.
we could.
would be
Okay.
an opportunity for us to take it a bit offline.
And the follow-up question to that is, to what degree, Mayor, do you have the authority within the administration to improve security matters independently from the board, and do we only get involved when we have to pay for something?
I don't really know the answer to that, but I would think that everything having to do with this building is a matter for the trustees.
I would think, yeah,
Okay.
to be honest with
I
you.
just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think that the mayor has the authority to act unilaterally with us.
Right, I agree.
Okay, I just wanted to ask the
Yeah.
question.
I mean, at one point yesterday, there was concern for the immediate safety.
Sure.
So the building was placed on
That's
lockdown,
different.
you know,
That's
but that's a different kind
Yes.
of matter.
Yeah.
You have the
Um,
authority to do that.
Yeah, but I think, you know, I think really where we're going, we may be looking at some expenditure from the board, you know, to make sure that we have additional security measures.
I think as a general policy, even if you weren't looking for an expenditure, the board ought to be on.
Yeah.
board,
The board ought to be on board.
You know, with everything.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, okay, great. We'll continue that conversation.
All right,
All right.
And I thank you from the staff, and I'm sure they'll be glad to hear you're gonna review this.
yeah.
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 Thanks. All right.
Okay, we're all set. We do need to have a very quick executive session regarding an employee matter.
Then I make a motion to adjourn, we'll go into an executive session
A second?
Okay, roll call.
to discuss it.
Trustee Marshall?
Aye.
Trustee Coe?
Aye.
Mayor Plummer?
Aye.
Motion passes in 1 minute.
Okay, we're
assuming you
Okay,
motion
return.
to return to the meeting.
Motion to return to the meeting.
A second?
Okay, trustee Coe?
Aye.
Trustee Marshall?
Aye.
Mayor Plummer?
Aye.
Motion passes.
I make a motion to amend Zach Blier's title to Superintendent of the Department of Public Works and Code Enforcement Officer.
Assistant.
Assistant Code Enforcement Officer.
I second.
Roll call, please.
Okay, trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.